This episode of iFanboy is brought to you by Gamefly. Check out www.gamefly.com/iFanboy to get a free trial account. And GoDaddy. This week on iFanboy, Josh returns to his shelves, Connor shows off a grand prize, and Ron says watch out for Judge Dredd.
Hey, this is iFanboy, the comic book discussion show for the website ifanboy.com. I am Josh Flanagan. A little later in the show, Connor Kilpatrick and Ron Richards will be with you as well. But first, this. About 2 years ago, just a little bit less, I checked, and I was shocked at how long ago that was and how thin I looked in it and how different everything was. I did a show, a mini show, a little one called Shelves, where I showed people where I keep my books. And because y'all be voyeuristic perverts, let's be honest, you really liked it. There was a lot of response. Well, things have changed. Things had to move around. I don't know if you noticed that my desk is now in a different room because there's a baby and he took my office. And I'm going to forgive him for it someday, but right now the wound's a little raw, I'll be honest. And I thought I'd show around the things that have changed. Also, there are a lot more books. Now, I haven't tidied up all that much, a little bit more. I got in trouble last time. I don't know if you remember that. The place was kind of a mess. Got a little bit of trouble, but that's fine. Let's get to it. Let's do that. Okay, this is my desk. This is the workstation extraordinaire, as it were. And at this, then you're just looking at a chair. Let's see. Here's a stack of this week's comics. So, Fear Agent, American Vampire, Batman and Robin, blah blah blah. And then, oh look, there's a Gotham Central hardcover and Derek McCulloch's Pug. Zombies versus Ninja. No, I didn't buy that. Somebody sent it to me. There's my laptop and the iPad. There are comics on there. I work for a digital comics company, so that's where that happens. What do we got over here? Oh, look, Pluto, because, you know, I'm refined. Cowboy Ninja Viking, Next Wave. What's down there? Mondo Abrano. Look at that. That's Brazilian. That's two different things. Little original art. There's Chris Somney piece there. Oh, there's a Jonah Hex 50-page by Darwin Cook. You know you want it. What else? Oh, I know there's comics stashed in here. These are previews, and it's Roy of the Rovers right there, World Cup. Extra keyboard, those are important. Some bookmarks. I should really get to read those. Also, this is the only spot that I can find to keep Wednesday comics. It's gigantic. It doesn't fit on any shelves, so it sort of fits right there perfectly. And that's where it is. Let's move along. And let's see. I don't know if you saw baby stuff everywhere. Look at how nicely, I'm better organized than last time. You got to give it to me. Godland, got some Starman omnibuses, got some Powers hardcovers, things like that. Ooh, Absolutes. That's I'm impressed by my abs. I want to hold them, but I couldn't hold them all at once because I am too weak. A little Marvel omnibus action down there, a little Premiere hardcover, Demon in a Bottle, Hawkeye, things like that. Getting down here into more of the indie library, as it were. This is Asterios Polyp, Jimmy Corrigan, Box Office Poison, Blankets, those kinds of deals. Local. Oh, God, I love that Calvin and Hobbes book. There's some Alan Moore. There's a lot of that here and there. Terry Moore, Alan Moore. Maybe I did that on purpose. The Denny O'Neil thing. And then William Joe, Bone, Black Hole, Pedro Me, Mouse. You know, that's the award. My dog tried to kill me just then, sorry. And as you can see, there's sort of an L shape. And all the comics are along there and then the bottom. So that's fine. There's baby stuff. And then we're going to go over here. There's DVDs. Those are much more better organized than last time, too. My friends finally got to me, I think. Some Lego stuff up there. And then these look like Oni books. There's All Queen and Country. There's Captain America guarding Scott Pilgrim. A little bit of Jeffrey Brown. Aphrodisiac. Fantastic book. Coming down here, there's Hal Jordan. Oh, look, it's the Fables hardcover prose book, which I've never read. And a Little Millennium Falcon. These are nice. Looks like DC hardcovers. Looks like that's what I put here. There's Hellboy. There's New Frontier, Green Lantern. Oh, Star, Batman and Robin, Gotham Central, good stuff all. No comics here. Dark Knight Returns figures, best action figures I've ever bought. And then in here, this is interesting. I apparently hid, let's see, there's a bunch of indie trades. So those are in there. And then some toys. And then all of the Marvel and these are all of the Marvel and DC trades that I own. That's pretty much it, which I think is kind of interesting. There's some hardcovers here and there in other places, but just paperbacks, that's all that I've got. And I hide them here at the bottom of a closed cabinet. Maybe that's to keep the dust off them, though. There's one more place where we're hiding. The dog is coming with us. Yes, hi, George. And then here's, I got some stuff up here which I haven't got to. There's a Box Office Poison page. You've probably seen that before. And, oh, look at this. It's all of the Image trade paperbacks I own. Those are all on one shelf. I must own some others. That's not right. And then Vertigo, and those are all Vertigo. So look, I'm a little more organized. You gotta love that. I guess the guys would be happy with me. Sandman, Preacher, Hellblazer, Swamp Thing, Transmet, good stuff. And then, oh, these giant tabloid editions that they don't make anymore because no one had anywhere to put them. And then finally, this is just some stuff. Giant Alec Eddie Campbell omnibus down there. A little bit of 2000 AD stuff that people always say, you should read that. Well, I have it. I just haven't read it yet. And then, oh, look, the Batwoman book. That should be over there on that other shelf, along with the Hellblazer hardcover book by, oh, this is terrible. I can't do this. Okay, well, hold on. Gonna end the show now. No, I can't do this. Okay. So there you go. That's what it's like now. If you feel you've invaded my space a little more, then I've accomplished my job. And now, also accomplishing their job, Connor is up next to talk to you about a giant box of old comics that you might want. I don't want them. I know that much. And then later, Ron can be talking to Judge Dredd, so I hinted at that earlier. So we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you to Gamefly for sponsoring iFanboy. Gamefly is the largest online video game rental service and offers you a choice of over 7,000 new and classic titles across all consoles and handhelds. With plans starting at $15.95 a month, Gamefly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time and keep them for as long as they like. No late fees, no due dates, and shipping is always free. Once you're done playing a game, send it back and Gamefly will send you the next available game in your list. If you really like the game you're playing, simply click Keep It on the Gamefly website and the game is yours at a discounted price. Gamefly will even mail you the case and the manuals free of charge. iFanboy fans can get a free 15-day trial when they go to www.gamefly.com/iFanboy.
Welcome back. My name is Connor, and today I'm going to talk to you about something a little bit different. iFanboy memberships. iFanboy members are really special people that have helped keep the lights on at iFanboy for the last year or so, and into the future, we hope. We need more of you. We like our members a lot. We'd like to reward members. You can become a member in 2 ways. One is in the low tier, $4 a month or $42 a year, just the price of a bad comic book. You can help us out and you get a prize pack that's got a comic from our collection and some buttons and a sticker. Or you go to the higher level, $10 a month, $100 a year, you get that pack plus this lovely t-shirt. We really appreciate the members that keep us going. They've really helped out. They have no idea how important they've been. And one of the ways we like to reward members, again, in addition to the prize packs and our eternal thanks, is giveaways. And here are some of our lovely giveaway prizes. We've been doing giveaways all in September and October of 2010. And this is our current giveaway stack. You can see all these trades here. There's a bunch of Blackest Night trades here. There's a Detective Comics Elegy trade. There's some 2000 AD trades there at the bottom. I can't see what they are. There's a bunch of signed stuff. Some really cool, some issues in here. Good stuff. And that you can see all the things at ifanboy.com. Right at the top, there's a red post with the list of prizes. There's 2 big prizes I want to talk to you about, 2 main prizes for this giveaway period. One involves Stan Lee. If you're going to be at New York Comic Con in a few weeks, you get to meet Stan Lee if you're a member, if you win the prize. If you're not a member who's going to be at New York Comic Con, you'll get some Stan Lee signed merchandise, which is very, very cool. Now, the real reason why I wanted to talk to you today is so I could show off the grand prize. The grand prize here is a random long box from my collection. You may recall I've talked about my long boxes in my storage unit. And what I decided to do was I went into the storage unit and I looked at the long boxes and I grabbed the oldest, most beat-up looking long box I could find. The first one I pulled out actually contained all of my Detective Comics issues and my Batman issues, and I yelped and I put that one back because I'm not giving that away. I'm sorry. But I pulled this one out next, and you can see it's pretty old and battered. You can see discoloration here. You can actually see some of it up here. There's some water damage to the top, and it's actually ripped here. This is a really old long box. Ron told me when he saw it, it's a rough-looking long box, and he's right. This is the grand prize. One lucky member, iFanboy member, is going to win the contents of this long box. Now, I don't want to show it all off because I want it to be a bit of a surprise, but I wanted to show some of it off so you can get a taste of what you might win if you sign up to become a member. So let's take the battered box off, and as you can see, get out of the way. As you can see, there's lots of poly bags in here, which means this is a long box populated by comics from the 90s, and there's a lot of blue Executioner song ones, and if you were around then, you know that was an X-Men crossover going across all the X line. And that means that, let's pull this one out, There's X-Force, and that's Rob Liefeld, X-Force number 17. Get back in there and have it back here. Uncanny X, nope, this is regular X-Men, number 14, Executioner Song. And up here, Uncanny X-Men, 294. So you've got basically my Xbox. This is comics containing a lot of my X-Men titles, but there's some other stuff in here too. Like if you look in the front, there's John Byrne's Next Men, which was the big comic he did with the Dark Horse when he left the big two, and he did a book called Next Men, which is basically the X-Men. It's basically a real-life X-Men book. It actually is really good, and this is almost, I think, the whole run, or all of the run I had. There's 16 or 17 issues, and actually in the back here is exciting. There is the first 15 issues of Savage Dragon. This is the original run of Savage Dragon from 1992, I think. Whenever Image started, this is the original run of Savage Dragon. So that's the first 17 issues there. You've got, hey, look, it's the famous X-Men covers, the multiple X-Men covers, which made a big gatefold cover. Here they are. So my entire run of X-Men, my entire run of Uncanny X-Men, a book called Wonder Man, which was a great book in the 90s. And this was actually signed by Jeff Johnson. There's actually a bunch that are signed in here, and I'm going to try to mark them if I can. When I used to go to conventions and get books signed, they're in here too. So my whole run of Wonder Man, X-Factor's in here, the original old X-Factor run. I believe this is the Peter David Death of Joe Quesada cover. Uncanny, my whole run of Uncanny X-Men, which is, I think that's the first, is that the first Jim Lee issue? That might be. So there's some good stuff in here. Ooh, Mighty Thor, some Mighty Thor stuff, and Spectacular Spider-Man, some Impact comics, which are cool, Aquaman. So there's lots of random stuff in here, some other books I don't want to tell you about, a little bit of surprise. But it's a good price. You're going to get a lot of comics. And don't worry, before I mail this out, I'm going to bag and board all the books because I know most people like that. It's a fun prize. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to win this prize, if you want to win any of these prizes, you got to be an iFanboy member. Go to ifanboy.com/store. You can sign up to be a member there. At the lower level or the higher level, it doesn't matter. Everyone's eligible who's a member to win these prizes. I really thank you a lot for being members. It really keeps the lights on, as we like to say, and we really appreciate it. So coming up next, we got some more for you. Stay tuned. Thank you, GoDaddy, for sponsoring this episode of iFanboy. You can get reliable, secure web hosting without the long-term contract. GoDaddy's hosting plans are bigger and better than ever with 99.9% uptime, free 24/7 support, and no annual commitment. And remember, you can download GoDaddy's free iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry app to order right from your phone, manage your current domains, and more. Check out revision3.com/GoDaddy for a list of all the amazing GoDaddy deals from Revision 3.
Hey, I'm Ron Richards, and I'm here with your character to watch. A character you're going to want to keep an eye out for over the next couple of years is Judge Dredd. Now, I know you've heard of Judge Dredd before. He was the subject of a movie back in the 90s starring Sylvester Stallone that was awful. Don't even bother renting it. It's not a good representation of the character. But Judge Dredd is the lead character from the comic anthology series 2000 AD that's printed over in the UK. And while Judge Dredd isn't immensely popular here in the US, we kind of just know about him. He's super popular in the UK, with creators dying to work on him. He was created in 1977 by writer John Wagner and artist Carlos Esquera, and he's appeared exclusively in the pages of 2000 AD for over 30 years. 2000 AD is an institution of a publication. It's a anthology comic that comes out that releases stories about Judge Dredd, as well as other stories that take place in Mega City 1, the city where Judge Dredd and the other judges live. 2000 AD has been the birthplace of some of your favorite creators. A lot of folks you're reading today at Marvel and DC all got their start in 2000 AD over in the UK. Whether it's Grant Morrison or Garth Ennis or Dave Gibbons or Steve Dillon, writers and artists both cut their teeth on 2000 AD, gained popularity in the UK, and then came over to the US. So now if you're curious about Judge Dredd and why he's a character worth watching, they've recently announced a new movie. Karl Urban, who starred in Lord of the Rings as Omer, and he was also most recently in Star Trek as Dr. McCoy, has been cast as Judge Dredd, and the movie is scheduled for a 2012 release. So that gives us about 2 years where we're going to see a lot of Judge Dredd material be reprinted and published by 2000 AD, or so I assume. Now, leading up to the movie, if you want to get a feel for who the character is, what the stories are like, you're going to want to go check out some trade paperbacks, but you might not know where to start. Given that 2000 AD has been published for so long and they've been reprinting a ton of stuff, it's hard to know what to pick. I found a book that is the perfect primer for Judge Dredd, and I want you all to go check it out. It's called Judge Dredd, Mega City Masters, Volume Number 1. It's published by 2000 AD, and this is particularly created for us in mind, for the American comic reader who might not be a big fan of Judge Dredd or might not know anything about Judge Dredd at all. It sells retails for $19.99, and what it is it contains a bunch of classic Judge Dredd stories that have been published over the past 30 years. I'm going to rattle off some names of the folks that are involved in this book that have work in it, and you'll see why I'm suggesting it to you. We've got Brian Boland, we've got Kevin O'Neill, Alan Davis, Steve Dillon, Charlie Adlard, who you know from The Walking Dead, Dave Gibbons from Watchmen. Tons more names. Even John Byrne's got a story in here. John Byrne, X-Men guy, did Judge Dredd. Everyone's always wanted to work on Judge Dredd. The great thing about Judge Dredd is that over the years, a lot of the stories have been kind of one-and-dones or little slices of stories that just tell of life in Mega City 1, as Judge Dredd is one of the lawmen keeping everybody in line. So what this book does is collect some stories spread out over the past 30 years. You see varying different styles, from black and white to painted color to longer stories to short stories, but it really gives you a feel for what Judge Dredd is like as a character and what the stories are like. If you're curious about it leading up to the movie, checking this out would be a great way to see if you're interested in it. I know they've got a volume 2 lined up with more great names, and you'll see that literally almost everybody who's worked in the comic industry has worked on Judge Dredd, and it's just totally worth, it's a joy to read and totally worth checking out. So you can find Judge Dredd, you can find it on Amazon, you can probably find it at any local comic book store or at InStockTrades.com. Like I said, it's about 20 bucks. It's a nice thick book. You get a ton of stories. I've been reading this book for the past week, and it's been a lot of fun and makes me want to read even more Judge Dredd. So, and for those fans in the UK, you already know what I'm talking about. This is old news. You know, you're laughing at me right now for suggesting Judge Dredd while you've all been reading 2000 AD since you were 12. But that said, we'll catch up because this movie looks like it's going to be pretty good. I'm a big fan of Karl Urban. We'll see what they come out with it. So if you like this book, or if you like any of the other stuff that was talked about in this episode, shoot us an email. Tell us what you think at contact@ifanboy.com. You could always give us a call on our voicemail line at 1-888-FANBOYS. That's 1-888-326-2697. Find us on Twitter at twitter.com/ifanboy. And as always, go to ifanboy.com, where we've got great written content, our Pick of the Week audio podcast. You can become a member in our iFanboy store, where you can get a cool t-shirt, get some buttons, and a free comic book. It's all there waiting for you at ifanboy.com. So on behalf of Josh and Connor, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey, I'm Ron Richards, and I'm here with your character to watch. A character that you want to keep the... fuck.
Don't fall. What else can go wrong today? Okay. 3, 2.
Cool. Wrap.